What is up, NPBF fans and coaches alike? Of the Rage Fist Annihilates, and I am also the head commissioner of the NPBF. We are back for the Week 2 recap. Apologies for this being late. You're going to be seeing a spam of videos, hopefully within the next couple of days, to kind of play catch-up. Basically, right when we were kind of in the discussions of planning to sit down and record the Week 2 recap, my computer died. I am the main one who does all the recordings and stuff, so obviously losing the recorder's computer kind of nixes any chances of getting a recording done. So, yeah, lost my computer. Very, very big deal. A very huge, unfortunate situation. Kind of screwed us up big time, threw us way off. But now we are back. I was able to get a replacement PC. Shout out to my buddy Wes from college. He's a GOAT. He had a spare build that he loaned me for a while to get me back on my feet. So we are Gucci to go. So to kind of get us to play catch up on all the recaps, I'm going to do the weeks 2 and 3 ones at the very least by myself for both main and D-League. That way we can get those done, locked in, and finished. And then hopefully we'll be able to get back to having people on for the recaps with all the other commissioners. So, yeah, let's go ahead and let's get things started here. Gonna try to not waste too much time. I'm recording this one on my lunch break for work since I'm working from home. So we're just gonna try to move through these as fast as we can. To start things off, we got Stu and his New Zealand Nibbles taking on Devin and his Shelly Vrooms. Devin is bringing a lot of his Sun Core. He's got the Ninetales, Venusaur, Raging Bolt, Screamtail, alongside his Avalugg and Lando T. And then Stu is going to be bringing the Mandibuzz, Kyurem, the Leavanny, which is an interesting bring against the Sun Core. I think I really like that. Because I believe it does get Chlorophyll. Yes, it does. So I think that that's a really cool bring. Potentially does have the Chlorophyll. It could be really, really cool to see if that thing pops off. We see the Iron Valiant hiding here behind Metagross's legs. We got, obviously, the Metagross and the Gastrodon. So let's go ahead and pop right in and see how this one plays out. We see the Kyurem come out front against the Lando T. Not a great matchup for Devin. He's going to have to get out of there. Screamtail in on the Draco. Perfect switch. And then Mandibuzz comes in here, gets caught with the T-Wave. Very unfortunate. Ninetales is going to shoot out here and get knocked immediately, losing its Heat Rock. So going to heavily limit the Sun turns later on in the game. That's very good for him. A little Brave Bird chip on the Raging Bolt. Not doing too much, but we have the Gastro coming in here on the Discharge. It's a very, very straightforward gameplay. We do see the Solar Beam come out on the Raging Bolt. That is a very, very cool bring on Devin's part. I actually did not know that Raging Bolt had Solar Beam. That is really, really cool stuff. So, nice bring on his part. Obviously, the Rindo Berry protects the Gastro. We're going to be able to see... Wow, that does so much damage. Metagross is able to come in here on the Raging Bolt here and dodge the Thunderclap with an agility, but he just Thunderclaps again, is able to get him taken care of, which is very unfortunate for Stu. Kyurem's going to get an Ice Beam off here on the incoming Screamtail, but that does like no damage. Screamtail is just so fat. We're going to see the Baton Pass. The Dry Baton Pass is allowed. As we're going to see the Ninetales come in here on the Gastro. We're going to see the Solar Beam come out once again from the Ninetales. Does nothing to the Mandibuzz. Very good switch by Stu. We're going to see a full para as the Screamtail comes in for free. Gets a Spadef buff, which is super good for him. We're going to knock off the Leftovers, which I think is really important here. And then we're just going to see the Wish into the Baton Pass and passing the Wish beautifully into the Raging Bolt. Very, very nicely done there. We see the sub come out from the Leavanny. Crit does break the sub. I feel like that probably doesn't normally break the sub. Now he's just going to go for the Dragon Pulses here, which probably guaranteed breaks the sub. And then he switches back to Discharge here. Very, very nicely done on Devin. He's applying a crap ton of pressure here. Really just kind of whittling down Stu's team, really beating it down and holding it from doing much of anything. Crit on the Dazzling Gleam. I'm not sure if it mattered. I know Screamtail's incredibly weak, so it might have actually mattered there. We're going to see the Terra Fire come out from the Vanny here as it gets behind a sub, which is very, very huge. He did say he forgot to tear, which is very, very unfortunate. We're going to see a Scarfed Landorus here firing off the Sandseer Storm to break the sash, or break the sub here. He's going to try to play around the Thunderclaps, but Devin just gets the better of that, going for the discharge. Very, very smart on his part. I think that was Stu's best play, was to just go for sub there and try to dodge as best as he can. I think that was easily his best play. Now we're going to see the Earth Power take out the Ninetales, but is obviously able to get the Sun back up for the Venusaur, who's going to get the growth off, and I think that's probably going to be GG. Yeah. I don't really see any way that a growthed up Venusaur with the Life Orb is going to be stopped here. I think that this probably KOs Kyurem. Yeah, it hits a crit. They might not KO from full, because Kyurem does have just, like, absurd natural bulk. Absolutely absurd natural bulk. But this is a +2 Life Orb Venusaur in the Sun. Like, that, I think that even if he didn't KO there, I think, there was still the chance of the poison, and even if Kyurem was able to take it out, right, like, he still had so many threats still left in the back that just auto come in and deal with Kyurem. We don't know exactly what the set was on the Kyurem, but we only saw offensive moves, so unless he had Roost, Raging Bolt just comes in, clicks Thunderclap at that point, and finishes it off. Screamtail probably walled it entirely. So, like, it was just a matter of, like... It was just a matter of time, I think. So, very good game played by Devin, getting a really convincing win there. Done tons of crits in the game. Some might have mattered, some might not. But still very frustrating, obviously, for Stu, especially after a really powerful performance week 1. But I have no worries of him not being able to bounce back from this. I think that he'll be fine, and Devin, I'm sure, will go on to have a really solid season as well. So moving on, let's see what our next game is. We have Rennie and the New York Dialgas taking on CC and the Saratoga Snoms. Rennie's going to bring that Dragapult, the Rhydon, the Florges, the Iron Treads, the Amoonguss, and the Rotom Heat against CC's Iron Crown, Sneasler, Talonflame, Knacklestack, Vaporeon, and Serena. Looking like a really solid matchup here. I can see a lot of things getting worn down by Salt Cure. Over there, I can also see Sneasler putting in a lot of work against this team. It looks like it has a really strong matchup. I'm also expecting to see the Iron Crown do decently here. It looks very threatening against things like the Amoonguss and whatnot. So I'm very interested to see how this one plays out. Rennie's been using Dragapult like a monster so far, so I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls out another great performance here. Let's see how this one fares. Bad lead for CC, very unfortunate. We're going to see the Willow come out into the Purifying Salt, though, so Knacklestack's going to be able to dodge that burn, get up the Stealth Rocks, which is very, very huge. Takes a lot of chip damage between the Discharge and the Volt Switch. I think now we're going to probably see the Salt Cure come out, and the Treads is going to take stupid crazy damage from that. And then we're going to see the Terra Ghost, just trying to block the Rapid Spin and get the Recover off, but Treads just sets up the rocks. This is going to come in here, and we're just going to see the Curse from the Knacklestack. Very, very interesting bring. Very, very solid stuff from CC, throwing curses around. I think that's a very interesting for a mon that's so bulky to be able to put out that kind of turnly damage with the Salt Cure and the Curse. I think that's absolutely heinous. I think that's absolutely heinous behavior. But I also think it's really, really smart. Like, that kind of extra damage is incredibly hard to get around. It's like, look how much this is doing. That's 30. Well, that was at 37%. Yeah, the 37% every single turn from that. That's insane on most Pokemon. Like, that's hard to get around for any team at all. And we're just going to see it keep whittling down everything. That's really, really scary. Shadow Ball does some good damage here as we see the Vaporeon come in. And get the Wish up as Amoonguss comes in as well. Amoonguss going to throw off a Sludge Bomb. Very good play by Rennie. Not taking any chances there. Trying to catch anything that might be coming in. That was a solid, safe play. We're going to see Triple Axle come out into the treads here. Very good play by CC. Getting off some really good damage into the treads. Then we're going to go back into the Knackle Stack to potentially stop the spin, which he does. Very, very nicely played by CC so far. She's holding her own very solidly in this game. That's looking like that's going to probably be enough to deal with Florges. Florges can't really do anything else here. Yeah, Florges is going to go down. It does get a Wish up there at the end. So, very interesting to see how that plays out. Ooh, that flinch might have been huge. I don't know if Salt... Let me see. I think actually... Let me see how Wish played out before. Okay, no, Wish came through before the Salt Cure hit before. So it would have still saved the treads even if she didn't flinch and got the Salt Cure off. So that's fine. That's fine. But still very, very interesting. Sorry, my cat was clawing at a chair he's not supposed to. But still very unfortunate to see the flinch there, obviously. We're going to see the Recover come off here as the Dragapult comes in. Purifying Salt is so stupid. Such a good ability, man. Being able to just shrug off those Ghost hits, even being Ghost type itself. But he does get the roll 24-26, 24 into 26 to be able to finish off the Knackle Stack there. Very, very good luck on Rennie's part being able to get that roll. We see the Calm Mind come up here from the crown, but he's obviously going to have to switch out here. Can't take any chances with that. Talonflame's going to come in. Are we going to see a special Talonflame here? Yeah, we're going to see the Overheat come out. Very, very smart bring on her part to kind of deal with that Shreds. And we're going to see the Terra Ground from the Rhydon. Earthquake doing a big chunk to the Serena here. As we're going to now see the Power Whip come out. Oh, that is some nice damage. Oh, wow. That is some big damage on the treads there. We're probably going to we're now going to be able to see the Rapid Spin now. Treads finally able to get that off. Now that the Knackle Stack is gone. Very, very good stuff. Prioritizing getting those rocks away before Rotom even came back in. Very good stuff. That also helps keep his Pulse safe. I believe it was taking rocks before. I don't remember. But it helps keep the rest of his team pretty solidly safe. That was a good play on his part. Very good to prioritize that. We're going to see the Spore come out here as we do see the Lumberry to get the Unburden. Very, very interesting stuff here. But we're going to see the SD. I don't really know what that does for CC here. Because, like, there's no reason for the Amoonguss to switch there, I don't think. Does get the Wake Up here. Close combat into the... Even +2, Rhydon tanks it and is able to take out the Sneasler. That is crazy. Rhydon is so tanky. U-Turn is going to be able to take out the Rhydon, though. Very, very good stuff. You see the Vaporeon here. I assume this is going to bait out the Rotom. Rotom's going to come in here for sure. Just go for Discharge. Very, very safe play at this point. It's good chip on anything. It's good damage on the Vaporeon. If it gets a Para on something, that's going to be massive. It's going to absolutely ruin something's day at this point in the game. This has been a very, very close game. We're at turn 40 with only 2 down on each side. Very, very good game between these two coaches so far. Does get that Discharge Para on the Vaporeon. Big damage from the Scald, but oh man, yeah, no. Ooh, but he gets a low roll on that one. Very, very tough, but I think she definitely needed to get a Wish up there. I think she was probably going for Wish on that one. Either Wish or Protect. But that full Para was just too much. That's very, very tough. I was able to get the Overheat off and take out the Serena. I think it's just kind of like gets the agility off here as Volt switch out. Very good. Something about that tells me that, yeah, there might be a weakness policy situation with the Iron Crown there. I'm assuming, based upon the way that was played, hoping that he would just go for the overheat at -2. But Rennie made the correct play, obviously. Gets a crit with the overheat. I don't think that would matter. I don't know how invested his Rotom is, but it's an overheat. It's very, very strong. I think at this point, it's just kind of a matter of time. Dragapult's going to be able to come back in here and clean this up with a Thunderbolt. That is going to be a strong 4-0 win from Rennie, but man, was this close all the way through. I honestly think that like this could have gone either way if Rennie had made like a single misplay along the way. If he had messed up somewhere, it very easily could have swung in CC's favor. So very, very well played by both coaches on this one. No notes. Like, I think this is a really, really well played game. Just a solid slugfest back and forth. Nice 50-turn kick-ass game. Really good stuff, guys. I'm really, really happy to see that one. Let's see what we got next. We have Jesse and the J-Dog Jolteons bringing Heatran, the Leafeon Tornadus, the Walking Wake, the Slitherwing, and the Mousehold, taking on our new coach, replacing Ken and the Whoop That Tricks in Mac and his Tennessee Tapus. With his fresh new roster, we see him bringing the Iron Boulder, the Hoopa Unbound, and Namorous Incarnate, the Toxtricity, the Hatterene, and the Magcargo, which is one of his Terra Captains, which is very interesting. So let's go ahead and let's see how Mac does on his return here. He's been out of our league at least for a while. I don't know if he's been playing a bunch on the side, but I'm very intrigued. He does have the Protect to dodge the first impression from Slitherwing. That was a very good bring, but obviously we do see the Leech Life come out here from the Slitherwing, so it is not a choice-locked one. Very good to know. Namorous is able to come in here pretty free on that, which is nice. You see the superpower immediately to get that contrary boost. Very, very cool stuff. CC does no damage. Very intrigued by Jesse staying in there. But he had the eject pack. That was interesting. Very interesting bring. Player F does enormous damage. Enamorous enormous. He does get the Sun Up with the Tornadus, but the Enamorous is going to be able to take it out there. But now we see the speed boost on the Walking Wake, so we're going to see the Hydro Steam come out. That probably just nukes Toxtricity into the sun. Jesus. Hoopa is going to be able to come in here and should tank that. Oh, wow, it does not tank that as well as I thought, but it puts it directly into Salic Berry range, which is actually amazing, and steals the Choice Specs. Steals the Choice Specs off of the Walking Wake. Goes for the Endure there. Unfortunately, it's going to fail the second time. Very unfortunate, but if he'd been able to stall the sun out there, that would have been amazing. But yeah, there was too many turns. Unfortunately. But man, what a crazy couple of turns. That was a really cool Hoopa set. I really like that. Hatterene's going to be able to get rid of the Walking Wake with the Psychic Noise. We're going to see the Solar Blade come out from Leafeon. Goes Terra Normal here. Does take away a lot of its weaknesses. Oh, that's a tough play. Does get the free Swords Dance off. Knockoff is going to come in. Doesn't get rid of anything because the Assault Fist is already gone. We go for the superpower here, but the Terra Normal +2 Body Slam is still going to be enough to break through that defense buff. Mighty Cleave's going to be able to finish off the Leafeon here from the Iron Boulder. But we do still have this Slitherwing here doing its best. It's a pretty scary mon, honestly. It's a very, very strong, scary mon. Oh, it's just Okos. That's so crazy. It's so strong. Such a strong Pokemon. We're going to see the Terra Ghost come out from the Magcargo here. Gets the weak armor boost and gets a Shell Smash off. That's really cool. Is that going to be enough to actually outspeed? Power Gem. Oh, no. Oh, no. If he clicked a Fire move, there. I understand why he went for the Power Gem. Obviously, because like the Heatran's right there. You had to kind of play that safe. But, oh, man. I wonder if that was a roll. That would have been really cool. It would have been so crazy to see a Magcargo sweep. I think that would have been absolutely nutty. Man, Mac's still showing a lot of, like, his really solid team building skill. That was one thing I always remember. He was a really, really good team builder. He always had really, really solid, really strong sets, and, like, that is just a very clear example of it. Like, the Endure, Selak, Berry, Hoop Unbound, packing the Protect for the first impression, having the Shell Smash, Weak Armor, which was really, really cool. And the very physical and amorous. It was a very, very good sets on his part. Wasn't able to pull out the win here against Jesse's team. It was a very, very solid team. Got that manual Sun Up with Tornadus, and he kind of just let him steamroll with Wake. Wake did put in a crazy, crazy amount of work there. So, very, very impressive stuff. So, good game to Jesse. Mac, happy to have you back here in NPBF. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do for the rest of the season. Let's move on to our next game. Next up, we have David and the Denver Dondozos taking on Liam and the My Hero Milotics. I'm very interested to watch this one for sure. Obviously, Liam has his very stally team. He's brought that Clefable, Powdon, Hisuian, Avalugg, the Umbreon, the Chansey, and the Blaziken against the Incineroar, Goldengo, Alolan Ninetales, the Indeedee, the Tingaloo, and the Altaria on David's side. So, very interested to see how this one plays out. Let's go ahead and get this party started. I'm interested to see if this is going to be another 1,000-turn game or whatever. Let's see what goes down. We see the Indeedee come out, lead with the Psychic Surge. We see the Sand come up from the Hippo. We're going to immediately see Umbreon come in here on the Expanding Force. Pretty standard play, nothing crazy there. Save play. We're going to see the Incin come in as the Baton Pass goes off. That technically wasn't a dry pass, but it is a negative stat, so we're not going to, like, that's not going to be a problem. Like, I'm not going to, whatever. Yeah. That's not like a, oh no, he passed negative attack. That's going to be a real big issue. But just a whole bunch of nice switching going around. Getting the Choice Specs tricked onto the Chansey is very, very huge. Very, very good play on David's part. Getting the Nasty Plot up, very, very big for David with the Goldengo. That should be able to put in a lot of work here against the Umbreon. Umbreon does not appear to have lefties. Yeah, there's no lefties here. So he's going to be wishing up here. That's fine. Goldengo gets another Nasty Plot off, which is very, very strong. Does switch out, though. Does not take any chances with the Blaziken, as we do see the Chansey come in here as well. Parting shot from the Incineroar. David keeping up a lot of momentum here. Getting the Nasty Plot off with the Ninetales as well. Very, very good play. Immediately applying, like, super solid pressure, but that's going to be an unaware Clefable right there for sure. Gets the Wish up here. Going to be able to protect and get that Wish back. But this Ninetales is still applying a lot of pressure, even though it's fighting an unaware Mon. Gets a crit there, which is very big. But the Wish does still go up, so it kind of just mitigates what just happened. Goes for the Nasty Plot again. Basically, if he's able to break through this Clefable at any point in time, and he does make the play there, he goes for the Moonblast. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's a lot of damage on the Chansey there. That's tough. That's super tough. Yeah, that's a really strong Ninetales right now. It's faster than everything. It's applying a lot of power here. It's going in. It's at +4. There's nothing on this team that's taking this hit now at this point. Does have potential Sturdy from the Avalugg, so that's probably that was a safe switch on his part to preserve that. We're gonna get the Rumination off here as the Ice Spinner does some good damage to the Tingaloo here. Incineroar is gonna come in here, get that Intimidate off, kind of neuter the Avalugg a little bit. I assume we're gonna probably see a taunt here. Very interesting. Okay, that the Rock Slide is gonna come out. Are we gonna see probably a knock here? No, we're just going to see the Parting Shot straight up. Nice. Okay, so he's just keeping up the momentum, being very conservative about it. I think this is going to be a free cleanup for Goldengo, probably. Flash Cannon for the Clef, Flash Cannon for the Umbreon, and probably a Shadow Ball to clean up that Avalugg. Should be GG's with a big, strong 6-0 against Liam here. Wow, what a game. David knew what he needed to do in this matchup. He didn't have the tools to outstall Liam, like Stu had, for sure. Did not have the appropriate tools to take care of it that way. So he went ahead and went the route of get some setup, break some things a little bit, keep momentum, and keep repeating. Setup, momentum, repeat. Setup, momentum, repeat. He did an amazing job of implementing that game plan, and it worked out really, really well. Liam does, I believe it was after this game, I believe it was going forward for starting him with his week 3, I don't remember offhand, but I believe this is when he made his changes. He did like 6 changes to the team and completely swapped things up, which is very, very good. Very, very good for Liam. He was like, I'll stop trolling the league now at this point. So, like, very, very good stuff. So he's going to have a very different team going forward. Definitely look forward to that. But, yeah, nice solid game by David. He played this perfectly. Really, really well done. Moving on, we have Anthony and the Windy City Bolt Strikers taking on Brittany and the Baldwin Backs Calibers. Brittany is bringing the Annihilate, Clodsire, Enamorous Therian, the Orthworm, the Kamala, and the Mightyena against Anthony's crazy team of Latios, Tornadus Therian, Slowbro, Excadrill, Pheasantipity, and the Arboliva. So let's take a peek at this one. Both coming off of losses in week 1. So looking to bounce back. Getting the knockoff on the Clodsire early is huge. Claude's going to be able to get those rocks up. Probably something that Anthony's going to be looking to get rid of pretty quickly. The Enamorous coming here. The Luster Purge is going to do so much damage. That guaranteed Spadef drop is so big. Is such a problem. Mystical Fire. Very, very good stuff. Can keep, hopefully, the Pheasantipity at bay. We're going to see the U-turn on the incoming Orthworm. Very good play. Just keeping up momentum. Orthworm's going to go for a coil here. Very interesting play to see that. We're going to see the Iron Tail into the Rocky Helmet. Not going to do a lot of damage and get that chip damage on the Orthworm. Now that it's burned as well, it's pretty much like GG. That thing's basically dead. That thing's useless. Yeah, it's going to go down here to a Scald. Very unfortunate. Kamala's going to come in here. It's a good Spadef wall, so it's going to be really solid taking that Future Sight. Knocks off the Assault Vest from the Tornadus. Very, very good. Kamala's going to lose its leftovers, but it's going to be able to get a Wish up here. As the Torn U-turns out. I wonder if this is going to be another knockoff. Very good knockoff there. Very good play to get rid of the Black Sludge on the Pheasantipity. Very nice. Clodsire is going to come in here as the Pheasantipity goes for a Roost, which seems fine to me. Very interesting play with the Excadrill coming in. Oh, but it has the balloon. So that completely walls the Clodsire. I'm sure like that Clodsire can do nothing. That's a lot of damage on Annihilate there. That's a really, really scary damage. And then the Enamorous is going to come in here. Interesting. Very interesting. But we're going to get some good damage here with the Earth Powers, the Poison Jab. Anthony's just keeping... Once again, we're seeing like momentum is just so huge in draft, and he's getting all the plays right here. He's very much just applying constant pressure to Brittany's team. There's really not much she can do about it. Excadrill is so strong. It's such a strong Pokemon. It's just breaking through everything. That was a very safe click for Ironhead there. She had to make that play for the Enamorous to get the immunity, but he could have very easily clicked Ironhead afterwards. Now he's going to drop to the EQ there. We're going to see Mightyena lives, gets the crunch, and gets the KO. Very, very cool to see the Mightyena get the kill here. There's a Toxic Orb. Is that for Quick Feet? Or it's probably for... Yeah, it's for Quick Feet there. Very interesting to see that. Very cool. Bring. And Luster Purge is going to be able to clean up the Kamala, but Excadrill was the star here. It just completely cleaned up the game.
absolutely went crazy. And yeah, just popped off in this game. Anthony played crazy. Stop it. Jerk. My cat's a jerk. Cats are jerks. You all know, I'm sure. But yeah, really well played game by Anthony here. Very, very nicely done. Very, very big fan of how he played that. Moving on to the next matchup. Let's peep my game. Oh yeah, it's my game. Against Anders and the Ayrshire Scythers. He brings the Latias, the Ursulina Bloodmoon, the Skeledirge, the Vikavolt, the Cleavor, and the Pawmot. I decided to bring the Meowscarada, the Toxicroak, the Hisuian Arcanine, Donphan, the Archaludon, and the Zapdos. I'll throw something at you. Knock it off. So I don't exactly remember what my team was for this. New window. Let's just pop this over here. Just take a look at my team real quick, see if I have any extra insight to add on this one, as I typically try to do. Banded Meowscarada here. Expert Belt with the Terra Dark on the Toxicroak. Helped a lot with the Skeledirge as well as the Latias in prep. Choice Scarf Arcanine, just very strong into his team. Assault Vest, like very, very heavily Spadef invested. Donphan. Archaludon was a Shukaberry with a lot of Spadef investment to kind of try to be like an alternative way to get around Blood Moon or like take an Earth Power if need be and like kill it if it's weakened. We also do have the light screen on there to potentially, throw that on and deal with it. And then we have the Zapdos, which is just a fairly physically bulky boots holding bird with static. So very, very, pretty straightforward team for the most part, I would say. Nothing too spectacular on that one. But, it gets the job done here. So let's go ahead and see what we're rocking with in this matchup. And we do see the lead immediately with Zapdos against the Pawmot. He does go straight for the Ice Punch. I went straight for the Hurricane just to get damage off on this thing. I do live the Terra Ice Punch. I do miss the Hurricane there. I kind of just accepted Zapdos was done at that point. I didn't see an opportunity for me to roost. So I just kind of let Zapdos go. Getting the Hurricane on Cleaver would have been nice, but, unfortunate. We go for the knock there as the Vikavolt comes in, gets rid of the Citrus Berry, which is good. I go for the knock here again. I was able to get rid of the rocks, but I knew he was going to bring Skeledirge here. I went for the Earthquake. I think it still killed. Based upon the damage the knock did, Earthquake was pretty much guaranteed to kill there, I think. But the crit obviously was just salt in the wound. I was able to get rid of the webs here with the Rapid Spin. Now I am still not faster than the Latias, but knocking off the Soldew was able to put it into range of Ice Shard, which is great. Being able to knock the Citrus Berry off of Blood Moon as well is very, very good. So I'm very happy with that outcome. We're going to get the low kick off as Cleavor comes in. Cleavor is going to take a crap ton of damage there. Did not expect it to take that much. We get the stamina boost here on the Archaludon, which is great. Now, we do outspeed it, so we're able to clock it with a Flash Cannon on the switch in and take it out with a Draco, which is very, very good. Arcanine's going to come in here, take a Thunderbolt, barely take a Thunderbolt, but we're going to be able to get that Flare Blitz off and KO the Vikavolt, and then we're going to be able to knock out the Cleavor with a follow-up Flare Blitz to clean up the game with Arcanine there. So everything pretty much worked the way I wanted it to. No real hacks to speak of in that one from what I noticed. No real scary hacks to consider on that one. I think everything just kind of, it was a pretty straightforward game. made the plays that needed to be made, and just kind of worked out. The only real hacks you can consider is the crit on the Skeledirge, but based upon knockoff doing 43, so that's a super effective attack sitting at like 90-something power, not stab, doing 43. Earthquake then goes up to like 150 with stab being super effective. So I think, I don't have the calc offhand, but I'm pretty sure that probably still killed without the crit, so I think that's fine. But it was a really, really good game with Anders. Very, very good game. I always like playing Anders. He's a very positive dude, very, very cool guy to play against. So very, very fun to have him here, and I'm glad we got the chance to play. So GG's, my man, and let's see what our next game has in store for us. Next up, we have Jason and his Adelaide Arbolivis with the Jolteon Lycanroc Dusk, the Iron Bundle, the Jirachi, the Gliscor, and the Primarina, taking on Gavino and his Armenian Armarouges with the Regidrago, the Ice Cube, Corviknight, Dusclops, Monkey Dory, and the Chen Pao. Give me one quick second, and I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had to clock in real quick over at work, so we are all good now. Good. And looking like a pretty solid looking matchup here. Obviously, things like Iron Bundle here look absolutely terrifying. It's faster than everything Gav has, and it's just a super strong mon if it lands its Hydro Pumps. So I'm very intrigued to see if he will land those Hydro Pumps in this matchup. And let's go ahead and take a peek at this one. You see the Monkey Dory lead against the bundle. Obviously, Dusclops is going to have to come out here. We do see the boots on the bundle. Very good to know. Primarina is going to come in here and get burned, which is perfectly fine. I assume it'll probably offset some leftovers. You see the flip turn here from the Primarina as the Monkey Dory comes in. Quick Feet Jolteon. Always love this set. This is one of my favorite sets to use. We're going to see the Volt Switch come out here as the Clops comes in. Jason holding the momentum entirely in his hands. Corviknight comes in on the Toxic. We're going to see the spikes come up from the Gliscor. Ironhead does like no damage. But we're going to be able to probably see this Corviknight go for a defog at some point. Yeah, he just waited to get... He waited until he got all of the spikes up and just went for the defog, which is totally like understandable. Gets the U-turn off on the Jolteon as it comes in. Gets a crit. Very big crit there, I'm sure. Volt Switch, gets some good chip on the Regidrago here. We're going to see the Primarina come in, which is typically a really good switch in for Regidrago. We do see Body Slam come out. Some good damage here, but Regidrago's just going to go down. I feel like it was a little early to set up with that thing, in my opinion. With Primarina still being alive. I think if he had been able to get Primarina gone, or if he had just gone for the Body Slam on the switch in, I think that probably would have been a little bit better. Then he could have preserved it. Rocky Helmet on the Corviknight, getting some good use there. As the Chen Pao comes in as the Wish goes up, Colbur Berry is going to let the Jirachi survive, just barely surviving that crunch. But now, even though it's gotten that big damage off, it's definitely threatened. Although the Life Orb is going to tick down that Chen Pao thoroughly, and that's going to be it for the Chen Pao in 2 hits for sure. See the Ice Cube come in here as well as the Bundle. Bundle's going to go for the Freeze Dry here. Get some good damage off as we see the Zen Headbutt come out from the Ice Cube. Hydro Pump does crazy damage. We do see the Citrus Berry come out. Liquidation does nothing. These guys get the defense drop. If he missed the Hydro, that could have been some good damage coming out from the Ice Cube, but Ice Cube's going to go down here. I think he was kind of partially sacking it there. The U-turn from the Monkey Dory as the Jirachi comes in. Very good stuff. So now he's pressured again by the Chen Pao. He's going to go for the crunch here. Gets the crit on the Gliscor. He's living at like 1 HP. So he's got one more hit off. Crunch is the safest play to go for. He's going to be able to take out the Gliscor, but Chen Pao's going to drop to the Life Orb. Jolteon's going to be able to Volt Switch out here. Not really much that Gav can do about that. Dusclops is going to be able to get a Nightshade kill off on the Primarina here. And then Shadow Ball is going to do some decent damage to the Dusclops, but we're going to be able to get a little bit of recovery here with the Pain Split. Shadow Ball doing some more damage here. We're going to see the Nightshade come out, and Jolteon's going to then die to its burn. It's self-inflicted burn, which is fine. But we're going to see the bundle take out the Dusclops here with the Ice Beam. Shadow Ball comes out from the Monkey Dory. Interested to why he didn't go for like a stab move. Probably because of the Jirachi in the back. Probably trying to predict that. If he had gone for a stab move, he definitely would have killed there based upon the damage that Shadow Ball did. So, very unfortunate. Like, just got that play wrong. But it is what it is. Like, it happens. The full pair on the Corviknight prevents it from probably taking out the Lycanroc there now that it's so low. Would have been able to take out the Lycanroc. Very, very big full pair is there for sure. Monkey Dory is not going to be able to do enough here. It's going to get hit with the Excel Rock. It's going to be able to take it out with the Shadow Ball. I assume the Monkey Dory is probably choiced based upon this. Yeah, it is definitely probably choiced, I'm sure. But it was able to get some good chunk of damage on that Jirachi, but it was a very bulky Jirachi. So Jirachi's going to be able to finish off the game there with an Iron Head. Good game to both guys. I think that, like, Gav made all the correct plays. I think, sacked what you needed to sack when you needed to sack it. Nothing too crazy on that one. Jason just had the tools he needed to get through. So I think, simple as that. He had all the tools he needed to break through. But man, what a close game. If a few things had gone slightly differently, I mean, he ended it with 2% and 5%. So very, very tight game for sure. The tiniest difference on one or two turns could have been the difference between Gav potentially walking with this one. So very, very good stuff by both coaches. Hopefully Gav will be able to bounce back. It's not late season yet, so he hasn't been turned all the way on. So definitely looking to see what happens when that time comes around. And Jason picking up a really, really solid win there. Now we'll move on right now to our last game, which actually happened a good bit late. We have Alex and the Greenwich Girautinas taking on Alan and the Lancaster Lycanroc. So the story between this game is obviously they were just having issues scheduling during the week, but Alex had a lot of things going on at the time. His wife got sick, popped for COVID, and I'm pretty sure he also popped for COVID. I don't remember exactly, but a whole lot of things happened. There was illnesses and big family things taking place in their lives. A lot of big IRL stuff, so they were given the go-ahead to kind of step back. You have an indefinite extension for this one. Just get it done whenever you can, whenever things clear up for you guys a little bit. That's fine. I'm not going to freak out at you. IRL stuff will always come first in my eyes when it comes to league stuff. IRL stuff will always outshine that. It's always more important. So, but they were actually able to just get this game done, I believe, yesterday. So, at the time of recording this, which is great. So, we do have the Swampert, the Illumise, the Luxray, the Terapagos, the Doxbun, and the Azelf from Alan's side, taking on the Sylveon, Registeel, Entei, the Roaring Moon, the Drifblim, and the Shaman from Alex's side. So let's take a peek, see how this one turns out. Game that we were all waiting for a good long while. Let's see what happens here. We see the tailwind from the Illumise as the Shaman gets behind a sub. The U-turn is not going to break the sub. That is massive. So he's able to get the seeds off on the Luxray. This is terrifying way to start the game. Seed Flare is going to do crazy, crazy damage. As the Luxray is going to be able to break him out of the sub between the Leech Seed and everything else. Oh, man. He goes for the Supercell there on the last turn of Tailwind, probably trying to predict the Drifblim coming in. Unfortunately, I think probably the case was Shaman wasn't worried about it. Shaman probably was bulky enough to take the Facade, so it wasn't stressing about it, and just kind of decided to sub back up and not worry. And now the Azelf's going to be firing off some mystical powers here and be able to, get it down pretty low, but not really much else it can do. Misses the Seed Flare and the Terapagos. Very, very good miss for Alan here. Going for the Rapid Spin as he goes for the Leech Seed is very, very good as well. Seed Flare is going to be able to break the Terra Shell here. The 2 Rapid Spins, he's going to get the Ice Beam off here, break the sub. Seed Flare is going to do some good damage, but now Terapagos is faster, now Terapagos is going to be able to do some good damage. That Shaman's going to be able to recover so much health, and then he's going to be able to bring in Gurfy here on the Terapagos, and Terapagos can't really do much there. Swampert's going to come in here as the Meteor Beam Gurfy comes out. Very big fan of the Meteor Beam Gurfy. We love Gurfy going for Meteor Beams here. Knock off, get rid of the leftovers on the Shaman, which is very, very good for him, but we're going to be able to get that Leech Seed up. And we do know that the U-turn does not break sub, would not be able to kill. Get swept out with an eject button there. Very good stuff. We're going to see the Mystical Power get a buff for the Azelf here. I think he's assuming he's choice. He's not choice. We do reveal that it's not choice. He does get the burn with the Flamethrower on the Roaring Moon. That is very, very big. Crunch is still going to do a good chunk to that Illumise. Very unfortunate for Alan there. He's going to get that Tailwind up. Going to probably go for the U-turn here. Good damage on the Roaring Moon as it goes for another Dragon. It's kind of offset the burn here. He's going to be able to outspeed, and Crunch will be able to take out the Azelf now, even though burned. I think he probably should have gone into Dock Spun there. I don't think... Yeah, Dock Spun would have forced him out immediately. Probably going to go in for like a Body Press or something to kind of also pressure the Registeel. Goes for the Meteor Beam again. I don't think this is going to do too much. Going to be able to get some good damage with the Swampert, with the Earthquake there. And we're going to see the Flip Turn come out. Gurfy not switching here. We're going to see the rest come out. Oh, man. What a tanky team Alex brought for this one. Illumise is going to set up a Wish, which I did not even know that it had. Very, very cool stuff. Very, very cool. Bring on his part. So this thing is just able to rest up, rest, sleep, talk with the Meteor Beam and getting boosts constantly for like Flash Gang and stuff. That's a very, very cool set. Very, very cool set. I'm a big fan of that. And this thing's just rest, sleep, talk forever too. That's the worst part. It's just so tanky. Alan literally just straight up needs a crit Earthquake from Swampert here at this point. Not being able to get any damage off there is huge. So we're going to go into the Sylveon here. Hyper Voice is going to take out the Terapagos. Yeah. I think this feels like almost a foregone conclusion at this point. It would take a lot for Alan to battle back from the situation. Both going for Yawn on that turn with their bulky fairies, I find that really, really funny. As we're both going to see them double out. We're going to see the Entei come in against the Swampert. The Power Herb Solar Beam, what a good bring. And it's a simple bring to do against a team with a Swampert, but it's such a good bring at the same time. We do see the Body Press come out here. Very, very good from Alan here, but the Drifloon's going to be able to just come in on that and not really worry. Strength Zap is going to be able to just completely neuter what the Dock Spun can do to it, so like he 100% just needs crits now at this point. Calm Minding up to kind of make sure he's going to be able to get that kill. Yawn comes out here. Gets the big Air Slash damage off. Gets the crit. On the turn, it's going to sleep as well, too, which is very, very big. So, we're going to see the Entei come in here as the Wish goes up. Scorching Sands is not going to pick up the KO. We're going to see the Body Press get some decent damage off here. This is a fully special Entei. Goes for the Shadow Ball. Probably going for the Spadef drops, I assume. But I guess we don't have Protect on the Dock Spun. I guess we don't have Protect on the dog. We do not have Protect on the dog. Very, very tough match for Alan here. Alex just kind of played really crazy and had a really, really stacked, tanky team. Just kind of beat him down. Like the Subseed Shaman did so much work early on that like it was so difficult to battle back from that. I mean, there was really not much he could do. It whittled down and beat down so many of his offensive threats too early on in the game that it was just... At that point, it was just too much. So, tough game for Alan for sure. Hopefully he'll be able to bounce back from this. Alex played this incredibly well. Like, this is an insanely well-prepped, well-played game on his part. Can't really say too much more than that. He played this perfectly. GG's for sure, guys. And let's go ahead and take a look at what is on the docket for week number 3. All right, for our week 3 games, we have Jason and the Adelaide Arbolevas taking on Liam and the My Hero Melodics. Liam getting his new team starting next week, starting with week 3. So it'll be interesting to see if those team changes are able to get him on the winning ways going forward, since he's been having a tough start to the season so far. So we'll see how that plays out for him. Then we have David and the Denver Donzozos taking on Gav and the Armenian Armor Rouges. Tough start for Gav so far. David's also been on a hell of a tear. Absolutely going crazy so far, so it'll be very interesting to see this matchup as well. Gav is a really good player. We all know he can play really well, but is also an absolutely monstrous team to face off against. Will he be able to stop the momentum? I don't know. Very interested to see how this one plays out for sure. I've been really enjoying David's game so far, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. Moving on, we have Anders and the Ayrshire Scythers taking on Rennie and the New York Dialgas. Rennie has been doing pretty well so far. Anders is off to a kind of a slow start. But hopefully, like a Regigigas, he'll be able to get himself going here soon, and he'll start picking up some wins. Will he be able to do so against Rennie? I don't know. We'll see. Then we have Mac and the Tennessee Tapus taking on Brittany and the Baldwin Baxcaliburs. Mac made his return this week, unsuccessfully, unfortunately for him. However, he's still a really, really top-tier competitor. Brittany is still fairly new and still trying to get a handle on things, so hopefully she'll be able to start picking up some wins here soon. She'll be able to learn some things from her recent matchups. And, hopefully pivot those lessons into picking up some wins. We'll see how that plays out. Next, we have Alex and the Greenwich Guillotines taking on Devin and his Shelley Vrooms. Really, really fun matchup here. They go back and forth with each other all the time. So this is always going to be a fun match to probably filled with a crap ton of banter behind the scenes as well to watch, so I'm very intrigued by this one. This is going to be a lot of fun to see for sure. Then we have Jesse and the J-Dog Jolteons taking on Anthony and the Windy City Bolt Strikers. Jesse's had some really solid games so far with his manual sunsetting team. Very, very fun, interesting concept for a team. And actually has been working fairly well for him so far. It's been doing decently. But that sand team, this broken sand team that Anthony's rocking with, is an absolute force to be reckoned with. So going to be a very good matchup for sure. We have Alan and the Lancaster Lycan Rocks squaring off against Stewart and the New Zealand Nimbles. Alan's been off to a rough start as well, for sure. Bit of a rough start, but I know he's a really good player, so hopefully he'll be able to bounce back. Stewart is an incredible player, so it's going to be a tough hill to climb, but wish Alan all the best for sure. If anyone can do it, I think he can. And then last but not least, it'll be my game against Cece and the Saratoga Snoms. Cece has had a bit of a 50-50 start to the season so far. Not up to the best start, but she's got an incredibly terrifying, threatening team, and honestly, it's a matchup I'm not really looking forward to, but we'll see how this one pans out. I'm excited to face her regardless, and hopefully it'll be a fun one. But with that, that's going to be it for our Week 2 recap. I'm going to literally stop recording this and start recording the Week 3 recap right now. So, that being said, my name is Jeff. I am the coach of the Rage Fist Annihilates and the head commissioner of the NPBF, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.